And it was about signs, I suppose. And we picked up on this because actually Jennifer Aniston was saying that she feels closer to her father now than when he was alive because he died last year. And when Jennifer went to visit him for the final time, she put a crystal in his jacket. But then she later discovered that some of the crystal had broken away and was left with her at home, and she felt that that was a sign. And I know, Kelsey, when you've been here before, you have spoken about signs from Tom.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to know whether that you find that a comfort or whether that is unnerving.
Do you know, for me, like, obviously, I've been through the most traumatic time. The last 3 years have been absolutely horrendous. And losing Tom, having the comfort of a sign, like, even at the campsite, there's feathers everywhere and the kids will pick up and go, look, Daddy's with us. Like, it gives us comfort. And I think going through something like what we've been through, if you can take a little bit of comfort in something, then if you don't believe in it, that's fine.
100%.
Yeah.
It's about comfort.
Yeah, do you have to believe? We always get tied up in that argument of do you have to believe in it? As you say, if it's something that helps you and gives you comfort, then that's all the belief that you really need.
Yeah, and I actually think I've lost a really dear friend of mine recently, and we were at her funeral, and we've obviously all been talking about her, and lots of stories came up. And then just in the weeks after her passing, obviously, every time I was thinking about her, I'd see, like, car registration numbers with her name on it, or I'd see the signs on a billboard. I'd see something that was something to do with her, or on the radio, a song would come on, and I think, I can't believe... And these are throwbacks. These aren't, like, regular things that I think I've heard or seen. And so, in my eyes, I think maybe I'm open to receiving messages more because I'm in this really low place about her, and maybe they've always been around me, but I just haven't been opening my eyes to it. And so it feels like...
That, for me, is the key of what you've just said. In your situation that you've just described there, is that all of those things have always been there, but you notice them because she's on your mind.
Yeah,
so have you always been open to them then, Kelsey, do you think?
No, I literally was not spiritual at all, not open. I was like, when you die, that's it. But I went on this journey, and even when Tom died at the hospice, I went downstairs after he just passed away, and I was on the phone to my friend Evie, who's a witch, and literally...
You dropped that one in!
Just my mate, who's a witch.
A nice witch.
Yeah, a good witch. A feather dropped from the sky. Literally, there was nothing around me, there was no trees, and a feather dropped from the sky, and that gave me peace of mind for Tom to tell me, I'm OK, Kels. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be. And that gave me comfort.
Yeah. So you couldn't deny it, even though you were a bit more cynical before that. That changed your thought process.
Massively.
Yeah. But
it was about how Tom
We've had this conversation with Gloria.
Tom's always been really spiritual and really into it. His mum was really into it, so he's always tried to convince me.
Right.
And now I'm convinced.
But I'm saying that the comfort you got was comfort for Tom. Is that what you're saying, rather than comfort for you?
Yeah, he was so worried about dying. Like, he had this fear of dying. Even before he had cancer, he was always so scared. And I feel like he sent me the sign to go, Kels, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as what I thought it was going to be.
God. Which, again, is a comfort.
Yeah. And I needed that
I totally get the comfort aspect. I mean, you know, the white feathers and the white butterflies and things like that, absolutely. I hear that a lot from people, and I get that completely. Where I part company is on the situations like, I don't know, where people say, oh, look, you know, come to this house and you'll see a ghost, pay 30 quid and we'll... and I don't believe in... And I'm very evidence-based, and until somebody shows me evidence of something in that respect, then I have an issue with it.
But then I guess a lot will be to do with your upbringing as well. I mean, it's interesting that you made a quick switch, not a quick switch, but a complete switch, whereas... Sinatra, that is more in your upbringing, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, in Hinduism, there's a belief system. My mum explains it better than I do, but my translation of it is that we do live many lives, and my mum used to say when she was going through a really hard time, I must have done something really bad in my past life to be having to go through this, because the theory is, like, say you've got to try to get a 10 out of 10 to get to utopia, to heaven, to wherever the final destination is. Each life you come back, you have to better yourself. So say I'm a 5 out of 10 this time. Next time I have to be a 6 or a 7 to try and get myself higher up the chain. So basically it's about every time you come back, you're trying to become a better person or try to do better so that you eventually get up there. And so I do believe that souls, when we say about certain, you see little ones and you go, oh, he's an old soul, isn't he? You know, because you feel that maybe they have got some sort of knowledge of being here before. So I do believe in the energy. I'm not suggesting that the bodies have got lives after they've passed away, but I do think your energy, there is something. We can't explain everything, right? We only use X% of our brain.
Yeah.
There is stuff that we
and
don't
that's so
know.
interesting with kids, isn't it?
In somebody's, you know, anybody when they die, you see a body after somebody's died, and they just don't look like them anymore because their soul has.
There is a difference, isn't there?
And we were taught in science that energy is endless; it can't be destroyed; it can only be transferred.
Yes. Good point.
See, in that play last night, that would have been a mic drop moment. Yeah. It would have been in the audience going, oh, yes, that's absolutely right. It's such a fascinating discussion, but I just really want to say, obviously we spoke to you this morning about what you were comfortable talking about. We're really aware that this is very sensitive stuff for you, and so listen, thanks very much for being so open. Yeah.